All right, so we're with Barney, and we're gonna do some e-foiling together today. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of rundown on the e-foil. So this is the e-foil, lift foil. This is the lift 4. Both of them lift 4. This is the cruiser. This is the pro. It's a little bit smaller. That's the next level to step on. Both of them equipped different wings. This one have a little bit bigger wing, gonna give you a little bit more stability on the water, a little bit easier to beginner, a little bit smoother turns, kind of like the long board, kind of like middle board, and they have another one smaller, like a short board. This is the controller, the power connectors. This is the cooling system, water cooling system. Actually, when you foil, there's a small hole here that kind of sucking the water in. They're going through all the system, cooling everything down, cooling, and spitting back out from the exhaust hole here. Okay. This is the propeller. This is standard propeller, so it's kind of protected, so it's not gonna cut anybody's fingers or anything. It's actually pretty hard to get finger inside. Versus the other one that I have here, this is the folding prop. And the folding prop actually built to catch waves. So when you ride, when you leave the trigger, this one gonna stop and it's gonna fold, and it give you like more aerodynamic way, so you can just kind of ride the waves. And when the wave is gone, you can just keep on going. Versus the other one, it's gonna stop and it's gonna give you a lot of drag, and you're just gonna fall right away when you leave the trigger. Okay, one thing that we might use is the blowfish. Blowfish is a little bit, it's a buoy that we're pumping up with air. It's gonna go around the board and it's gonna give it much more flotation. It's make it much more easier to stand up on the board, but you have some surfing experience, so I think you're gonna be fine. If we need, we can get up and put it. But when we're gonna train on the pad, we're gonna see how your flexibility, and we're gonna decide. Maybe we do. Okay. As well, we're gonna have radio, so we can be connected with each other. We don't need to yell at each other. It makes everything much more easier and smooth. So this is the training pad. And same as on the training board, there's lines. There's lines that I put on the board. Usually they don't come like this from the manufacturer, but I kind of make it fit. It's make it easier for the beginning, so you know where to put your feet, your knees, your back foot, front foot, and your knees. Technically, just to remember, this is more or less the back foot location around the line or between the two hitches. The second line is the knee position. Knee position, we're gonna train a little bit on knee position, just kind of to build our way up. And then the front line is the foot position. Anywhere on the front line or above gonna be foot position. Back line on the back. Back position, you wanna get like kind of like wider. Yeah, wider. As much as you go wider, it's gonna be easy for you to control. It's gonna give you a little bit more stability. The center of the board, marked here with the yellow circle. It's around between the two handles. Now the center of the board, what you need to remember, wherever your feet are, this is gonna be in the center. So that if you 2 foot in the center, this is the center between the 2 foot. If 1 foot going to the side, you need to correct with the back one. This is stay in the center, okay? So wherever your foot, wider, shorter, this is always gonna be the center, okay? And this is usually just above the front wing. So this is a training mattress, and we're just gonna do some dry training before we jump into the water. This is our controller. To turn on the controller, this is the power button. If everything got good and it got connected to the board, you're gonna see the battery percentage. If not, you're gonna see the no signal. Okay, another reason you're gonna see the no signal is if the nose of the foil is underwater. Even if it's a little bit underwater, it's a safety feature. It's gonna show you no signal. That means you just scooch down a little bit, take the nose up, because if you're gonna start rolling when the nose is down, you're gonna get into the water. Every time you fall off the board, and this is our first safety rule, you turn it off. You're getting on the board, position yourself and going to turn on, because many times what happens to get on the board, by the way, you're gonna come from the back, you're gonna hold the 2 handles, and you're gonna pull yourself up. A lot of times that's what's gonna happen. And the motor gonna start going full force, and the board just gonna fly. Okay, so turn it off, get on the board, position yourself, turn it back on. Okay, just take a couple of seconds and it's gonna turn on. What difference between this the foil and surfing? The eFoil gonna try to leave the nose all the time versus surfing that you need to put a lot of pressure on the back, not to go nose in the water. This is exactly the opposite. You need to put pressure on the front to prevent the nose from coming up. okay? So this is one thing that a lot of surfers struggle with at the beginning a little bit. This like, it's a little bit different, okay, in that sense. Pressure in the front instead of pressure in the back. Okay, so to start, you're gonna come on the back, hold the two handles, pull yourself up. You're gonna put your face more or less above the lift logo. One end at the front of the nose is gonna help you to scooch up a little bit when you need. So we're gonna limit the controller to maximum speed. So all you need to worry about is just slowly squeeze the trigger. You don't wanna go too quick. You wanna do very, very slow motions. Everything gonna be very small. If you're gonna go too quick, it's gonna give you a lot of lift. Acceleration affects a lot on the lift. So if you're gonna accelerate fast, the nose just gonna go up really quickly. So you wanna go very slowly, like from 0 to 100%, about 5 seconds. Now you're gonna start accelerating. When you get to about 20, 30%, you're gonna start feeling the nose wanna pop up. With the hand in the front, you're just gonna scooch up a little bit. And you're gonna continue accelerating. In about 60, 70%, it's gonna get more speed, it's gonna wanna push a little bit harder up. So you're gonna scooch a little bit more. You're gonna get to a position that your face is actually outside of the board, above the water. With the two elbows on the board, you're gonna press down. All the time you wanna keep pressure on the front. You're gonna accelerate. When you get to about 70, 80%, you're gonna feel the board getting into prone speed. Prone speed mean, I don't know if you see boats sometimes when they start going, they're getting to a speed that they're kind of like hovering above the water. This is prone speed. Prone speed on the eFoil, that means that this speed, it's fast enough so when you start shifting way to the back, the boat gonna start hovering above the water. Okay, this is the speed we want to work with. And I'm gonna limit the controller to be minimal speed so you can just start proning. Okay? So your face is outside of the board, you get to 100%. Once you get to 100%, you lock in your finger, you don't let this finger go unless you fall off the board. You lock in your finger.
Holding that the whole time.
Yep. At this point on, you don't need to worry about the controller anymore. It's locked 100%. The board gonna go steady speed. You don't need to worry about that anymore. Beginning, we're gonna take like 2, 3, 4 minutes just laying down on the board. Control the board left and right, very simple. Shifting way to the left, shifting way to the right. All right, very easy. If you want to do sharper turn, you can actually use your feet a little bit outside of the water if you want to do more sharp turns. Okay? After a few minutes, you got the hang of it. You want to go to the next level. We're going to build our way up. So we're going to go knee position, and then we're going to go stand position. To go knee position, we're just going to put our hands on the white part, kind of like tabletop. Do you do yoga sometimes?
Wow. Yeah.
So kind of tabletop, but you're going to keep pressure on the front, okay? Proning speed, the moment you're going to leave pressure from the front, the nose want to come up, okay? So you always want to keep pressure on the front. Tabletop, and quick as possible, you're just going to scooch your knees just after the knee line, okay? After the second line. About this position. It doesn't really matter how much between the two lines, it's going to be fine. Knee position, hand to the side, going to help you a lot with balancing and controlling. At least at the beginning, when you feel comfortable, you can let them go. But hand to the side, kind of like an airplane, left and right. With the knees, as long as you're above the line, that's enough pressure based on the speed that we set up the board to keep the nose down, okay? If the knee going to be behind the line, the nose going to go up. It's not a big deal, but if the nose going to go up, you're probably just going to lose control at the beginning, kind of panicking out for a little bit at the beginning, and you're going to fall to one of the sides. As long as the knees between the two lines or after the line, nose going to go down. Okay? One thing you want to remember also, shoulder, waist, knees straight. Okay? If you're going to do something like that, weight shifting to the back, nose going to go up. So about 1 or 2 minutes like that. Again, just kind of get a hang of it. We want to remember, as much as we go higher, every motion that we change is going to affect the board more strongly. Left and right slow. After you get comfortable, we're going to scooch our knees just on the line. After measuring and figuring out the locations, this is the location you want to have your knees. So when you start shifting weight to the back, the board is going to come up. And what we're going to use technique that's called tap and go. Okay, tap and go mean we're foiling on the water, we're touching the water, we're starting shifting weight to the back. The moment the board departs the water, we're going to shift our weight to the front, take the board down. The moment we got it up, and then we're going to repeat it again. And we're going to do it again and again, every time a little bit more time. That's what's going to teach you instinct to control the board, controlling the board up and down. Now the motion we want to do is about 90 degrees. to about 20 degrees, okay? We don't want to go too much low because that's going to wear your quads very fast. When you're on the line, we're going to start lowering our waist a little bit, pressing our feet down very, very slow, like hardly noticeable, very, very slow. Board going to go up, you're going to take the board down. All right, trigger is on all the time. Said you start lowering your waist, the board not coming up, that's mean we need to scooch back a little bit. So we're going to go back to our position, scooch another inch back, and then we're going to start lowering our waist, okay? Again, very, very slow. I'm going to tell you, take the board down. When I said take the board down, it means take your waist up, board going to go down, okay? And we're going to do it again. Eventually, you want to get to a point that the board hovering above the water and you're finding your sweet spot that's just kind of keeping the board above the water. Okay, because you remember, there's like a point that you're passing that the board going to go up, point that you're passing that the board going to go down, and there's a spot in between that's just going to keep the board hovering above the water. We don't want to waste too much time knee position because again, that's going to work on your legs a lot. So we're going to try to practice this for about no less than 5 minutes, even if you're not able to keep it steady above the water. We're just going to move on to standing, okay? To move to standing, we're going to scooch our knee between the two lines. We're going to put our hands on the white part of the board. So pressure on the front foot, and then standing while we're keeping pressure on the front foot, okay? It can help a lot if you put your hands on your knees and you can just lift up, okay? You want to get to a position kind of like a yoga warrior position because you want to keep pressure, a lot of pressure on the front, especially at the beginning, okay? We want the foot to be on the line or in front of the line. And then slowly getting into like natural standing position. Front foot, back foot, you want to give it a little bit of an angle. If the foot gonna be straight, you cannot navigate left and right, right? So you want to give it a little bit of an angle between like 45 degree to even 90 degree, gonna be fine, okay? Whatever comfortable. For me personally, front foot a little bit to the left, back foot a little bit to the right. Let's make it very easy to navigate left and right and to go up and down. The way you do it, you're just shifting weight to the back. Board gonna go up, shifting weight to the front. Board gonna go down, okay? Natural position. Now we wanna start taking the board up. We're gonna go up. I'm gonna kind of simulate with my hand what's gonna happen when we're standing up, okay? Board on the water, let's say this is the sea level. We're gonna start shifting weight to the back. The board gonna go up and we're gonna get the board down right away. We're gonna shift weight, the board gonna go up for a little bit longer. We're gonna take it down, okay? Until we're gonna find this sweet spot that kind of keep the board hovering above the water. You want to keep it like 5-10 inches above the water, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel that you're kind of wobbling above the water. Once the board departing the water, you're gonna feel everything become like much smooth and quiet. Ideally, we want to get to the point that you find here the sweet spot, keeping yourself above the water as long as possible. What's gonna happen if you're gonna go too high? The motor gonna breach outside of the water. You're gonna hear the motor noise, kind of spitting water everywhere. That's gonna result in quick decrease in speed, and the board gonna fall into the water. A lot of time, it's not too hard to recover from it. Maybe first few times you're gonna fall, but after a few times, if you didn't get too aggressive out of the water, you're gonna be able to recover it. But again, you wanna remember, very, very slow motion. Everything's super, super slow. If you lose balance and you wanna fall, let's say the board is pushing this way, pushing to the left, you just want to cannonball to the left, same thing to the right. If the nose coming up, either side or to the back, you can just jump. The only thing you want to avoid when losing balance and falling is if you see the board going to the left, try not to jump to the right. I'm gonna let you just do all those steps. All right, so we're with Barney, and we're gonna do some eFoiling together today.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה את הים הגדול.